whatever happens after I hit the button is, I guess it's completely within our control. I don't know why I'd say it's not.
You know,
we know it's not.
I was going to say, we think it is.
Yeah.
There's the illusion of control, but this never is actually fully under control.
Ever.
What is control?
It's not a question you're going to find the answer to here on the Fairly KickAss podcast. And yeah, it's going to be like that the whole time, as it always is the whole time. It's Zach, it's Dan, it's Jay. And we are coming with you with the second, I believe, installation of this particular episode type.
Nailed it.
Remember we were just saying about being in control of things?
Yeah, like
you
this
thought
side
you
of the
were in
microphone
control of
stuff.
your mouth. Yeah, right?
Oh, shit. Diction is hard. And musical confessions are also very hard. We did one of these episodes a few months ago, and it is modeled off. Is it a British show originally, Would I Lie to You? I think it is, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The premise is that each of us presents a statement about us that revolves around music in some way, shape, or form. And the other two hosts, their job is to figure out if what we say is true or if what we say is a lie. They ask questions. Each of us will grill the other on, different things to try to get to the heart of whether they feel that's true or not. And then we make our calls after a few minutes, and there's the big reveal, and there's the yeah, or there's the depending on where they get it right or wrong. We certainly will give some time in the middle for all of you to kind of play along at home as well. No one's going to do that. I don't know why I said that. No one's playing along with this game. This isn't like Scrabble or Hollywood Squares.
Those are your go-to examples of hot game shows to play along to at home.
My game show brain is stuck in like 89 to 92. That's all I got.
That's fair. Well, I'll say with confidence that I may not be the secret square tonight.
You heard it here first, listeners. Whatever it was, you heard it. So let's get a little random numbers, which I actually had ready for once, believe it or not.
Wow.
You mean that wasn't a tap dance while you brought up the random number generator?
No, that was just the brain not working.
Oh, wow. So we're sort of on it tonight. Let's do this.
Weirdly sort of, yeah. And you are weirdly sort of, Dan, going to be number one, followed by moi. And then, Jay, you will be bringing up the rear at number 3.
Sounds good.
Oh, boy.
Dan, tell us your secret statement, whatever we're calling it, that you have for us tonight.
So this is going to be a long way to get to it, but I actually have 2 opportunities for you guys to pick up points.
Oh, okay. A double. I like it.
I need you to figure out both parts of this. And it's a long way to get to one of those because it relates musically, sort of. It's also kind of timely. We'll figure that out. But first, story time, because that worked out really well for me last time.
Hell yeah.
There's no embarrassing admissions here, but I'm kind of more proud of this one. So let me ask you both this, and can put this in a musical context. What is the worst thing about this time of the year?
All the Christmas music.
By far.
My dude, right there. When the leaves have turned and fallen along with the thermometer, thoughts turn to family gatherings and travel, and of course, all that sweet, sweet sunlight ending at 3:00 in the afternoon. As you mentioned, boys, it is, of course, having your earballs assaulted by Christmas music way, way, way too early in the whole holiday process thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, most places don't even wait until Halloween before they bust out the Mannheim Steamroller, the Elmo and Patsy. So, I don't know how much I've gone into this in the past, but I have a 20-plus broadcasting career in radio, which for a good long while involved being a full-time radio programmer. Most of that was in sports and news and talk, so I wasn't really into the music side. But the cluster I worked at also had a hot AC station, and like many stations across this country that have that format, at some point they go 24/7 Christmas music, and usually that date keeps crawling farther and farther back. And now some of them literally only barely wait for Halloween before they flip it, and it's 24/7 holly jolly bullshit. But, apparently that's what draws ratings, so that's what they're going to do. So in many past years, I have been completely tapped out of Christmas music long before we even get into December, because in this building there is a internal PA system. And the whole idea was the internal PA system is during the day, we would just rotate through the 7 stations in the cluster. So you're listening to everybody at once. And then at night, they'd play our news station for whoever was there, because it was sort of the way to monitor to make sure things weren't going off the rails or on fire. And unfortunately, the people who would control our station selector roundabout before Thanksgiving would just decide we're going to set it to that hot AC station and we're leaving it there. Which meant for 2 whole months, no matter what you were doing, there was always usually Christmas music at some point in the background. And you can only do that for so long before the brain starts to melt. And one day in early December, my office mate had got there. My office mate and co-host of the afternoon show I produced had had enough with the rest of the building. So he did it. I was his accomplice in this whole thing. All right. That's what this is say. I did not put the amount of effort that he did into, because he put so much effort into this. I was the support and the distraction. He, on his free time, or maybe on the clock, just out of spite, put together a 6-hour file and set this thing to loop. And it sounded like it was a normal broadcast day, right? He just puts a 6-hour block of river programming together. He put commercials in. He ran normal liners. He found promos. But the catch was, every single song in those programming blocks was Last Christmas by Wham. So if you were just like walking through the hallway, or you ran to the bathroom or something, where those were like the most, where you could most hear the PA. Throughout the normal day, you thought, I just happened to be really bad and keep catching Last Christmas. If you weren't sat under a speaker, you probably wouldn't know. And it was brilliant. And so my role in this whole thing was to be the subterfuge in the routing. So my office was the office/newsroom, and I had a little production board off to the side so that we could do all the news shit. And so we ran it through there. And he somehow got into the actual router that was at the front desk. Wow. And managed to change the channel that would have said news, to change it to river, and had that set. So they naturally just turned it on. It said river, and they were good. And we were running it from my newsroom board. And throughout the day, I just worked from that computer, so that whenever an engineer finally figured out what was going on, it just looked like I was doing production on that board. It literally took 3 hours before we finally got caught. Finally, the pitchforks and torches came out, and I could no longer continue the smoke screen, because I was threatened with grievous bodily harm if I didn't move and let them stop this whole thing and shut the file down. So our revenge was at least 3 straight hours of Last Christmas. And so there's the first part. The second part that leads up to that is admitting, well, there's a little more. So the second part of that is admitting that because of being bombarded by Christmas music every year and having it come earlier and earlier, and I unfortunately spent way too much time at that building. So my other musical confession is that I cannot listen to holiday tunes willingly until Christmas Eve. And even then, it's usually just a Trans-Siberian Orchestra CD, maybe a little Mannheim Steamroller for the feels. I'll always support Josh Groban's version of Oh Holy Night, but that's about it. That's all I can take, is literally that one day.
Oh, you got to go for John Denver and the Muppets, man.
Do I, though? Like,
yeah. They're at least non-standard.
That's, that is the cross I have to bear, is I cannot be in a festive musical spirit until the very last minute. And outside of that, it just is annoying, which is really difficult if you exist anywhere in public between November 1st and December 24th.
Yeah, that's rough. Okay.
So I guess the questions purport to you was I an accomplice in a dastardly takeover of a office PA? And am I truly bah humbug on the Christmas music?
I fully believe the second part of that because I've been in that building and I know that the river played Christmas music 24/7 from November 1st on. So I know that part is accurate and that I believe that you are soiled on Christmas music. I feel like the rest of that slaps a little too much of John Mulaney's story of What's New Pussycat.
I'm still torn at this moment. I fully wholeheartedly agree with Jay that the second one I feel like is true, and I feel like any of the three of us could have said the second one, and it would also be true across the board. The first Christmas song I heard this season was in a coffee shop of all places, and it was in September. And that's a little side musical confession. That one's true, and I'm still mad at this place because it's my coffee shop of choice, and they never had steered me wrong until that moment. And I was like, I can't boycott them for this, can I? I can't go back to Starbucks for this indignancy.
You could temporary boycott till January, though.
I thought about it. But I had been back there since. I'd not heard a single Christmas song in the couple of times I'd been back since. So maybe it was just someone who is the reverse of you, Dan, and was like, you know what? It's a little too early, but what the hey? It's Christmas music. It's great. It's not great.
and I will admit, like we used to have, I'd randomly get calls. So I also had to answer the phones for the afternoon show. And it was an open line, so people took it. I randomly got people calling in August going, is there any way the river is going to move up? Can we get Christmas music now? Is there a side channel we can do and get Christmas music now? I'm like, no, go outside and go swimming like a normal person.
Swimming, it's so true.
Yeah.
You saying that, though, actually does bring up a question, and that is specifically to the listeners, if they had an avenue while this was happening to call into the station, and if any did, to say like, hey, we've heard Last Christmas 18 times. What the fuck is going on?
I don't think it went out to the listeners, though, right?
No, this was only in the building, right?
Oh, okay, gotcha. I'm with you.
This was all internal. So, yeah, we didn't mess with any on-air thing. That would have gotten us. Now, if we had pulled something like that off, that'd have been an amazing story. That would have
been so gangster.
But no, this was all internal. So we were taking revenge on the front of the house that enjoyed being those, jingle bells on October or November 1st. Like, bro, there's still 40 pounds of Halloween candy from Trunk or Treat in the break room that we can't get rid of. Maybe we should try to get rid of that first. Just maybe.
So your co-host set up the commercials and the promos and everything, basically a full-ass fake broadcast for this 6-hour blog.
Yeah, so he told me he basically pulled up a log from like the night or two before and just downloaded 6 hours worth of promos and spots and just lined them all up in Audition and just copy paste with Wham.
Fuck. Jay, I'm still torn. I don't know if you've got any inquiries here. I'm trying to think of a couple more.
Yeah, no. If we're going for 2 points here, the second part's it's 100% true.
Yeah,
I'm all on board. But I think I'm going for false on the first part. I think I'm going for a lie on the first part. Oh. Although I'm impressed with the lie, I think it's a lie.
So you're locking in lie, truth.
I'm locking in lie. Yeah, lie, truth.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I've just, if for no other reason than to be contrarian, I think I might go with the double truth here. Like the thing that really jumped out at me when you mentioned it was just the work that had to go into it. And your description, if it was a lie, it was a very convincing lie of how much easier I would have thought it would be to set that up. Because I was expecting like hours and hours and hours of work just for a prank. But it sounds like that is something that at least would be a little more streamlined, or you portrayed it really well as such. So either way, I am going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say that both are indeed true.
So Zack is true, and Jay is lie, truth. Mm-hmm. Let's get the first point done and out of the way. And you are both correct on point 2, as I am bah humbug on Christmas music.
Nice.
With the so you both score with the caveat that I have softened on that over the last couple of years, and started to open my date up, and it's Zach's fault.
Wait, I was.
It is your fault because a couple Christmases ago, you sent me a playlist of alternative Christmas music.
Ah, yes.
And I went, okay. And the first song on this list was a little ditty by the Killers called Don't Shoot Me, Santa, which I know I've talked up before when we brought up Christmas music. And that is what brought me around. And so now of course, the Muppets and John Denver get in there, but I'm looking for the weird stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was such a we may have had a whole episode about like top 5 non-traditional Christmas songs.
I think we have, and like I said, I'm sure I've mentioned it, but that was the catalyst. Yeah. So points all around there. The funny thing that you mentioned about the amount of work going in and that kind of tying you along, and I only caution you how much of a motivator that Spike can be, because our little river takeover was in fact the truth.
Fucking amazing. Fucking amazing.
It was exactly that. It was ridiculous. And again, I am shocked that we got away with it till almost noon that day. But I was, in fact, threatened by one of our engineers. I believe his exact words were, move or I'll hit you with this wrench. And I said, okay.
That's a fair proposition. You know?
That's fair. We'll go ahead and turn this off.
Did anyone else that knew that it happened get a kick out of it as well, or was everyone like...
So the rest of us sickos back in programming had a good laugh once someone figured out, and they kept going to a coworker saying, what, because the best part, they knew who to go to. Everybody who knew exactly who to go to.
That's a given.
Yeah.
Every office has one of those. Like there's a prank, there's a bit, there's toilet paper where there shouldn't be. Like, we know who this is.
This is also the guy who, for funsies, ordered one of the giant bags of googly eyes from Amazon and got about 3 or 4 months into just randomly placing googly eyes all over the building and on equipment and on walls and just in random places before somebody finally sent out an email going, okay, whoever's putting googly eyes on everything, it's been funny, but please stop.
That's just Hall of Fame. That's like Jim Halpern and Dwight Schrute levels.
Yes. Look, sometimes you really just have to abuse yourself, okay?
Oh boy, what a great start that I am not going to be able to even come close to with mine.
I will admit, and I mentioned it before, I was having such a hard time coming up with something for this and such a hard time coming up with this, and I had an epiphany in the can, and it just hit me. I'm like, I should talk about this story.
Yeah. And, as you were talking, I was trying to think of ways to, I guess, spruce mine up a little bit, because at first, like the way that I kind of had it in my head, it was a little more direct and to the point. And I won't go into like the story because there's not really a story. Well, I guess there's a little bit of a story, but yeah, I'll just launch right into it. So a little over a year ago, actually, no, I think I want to kind of leave it more ambiguous. So I'll just say that a little over a year ago, my statement is that I learned how to scream. Okay. And I'll leave it at that for now until with your questions.
I mean, the obvious question is, you mean scream like a metal singer?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Scream, unclean vocals, growl. I know there are a million other terms for it, but yeah, that's exactly what I'm getting at. That
was actually my next question. Are you talking like growly guttural, or are you talking ethereal high end?
The guttural was kind of where I looked and listened to all of it, just because the person that got me into it, I'm sure I'm not the only person who got into this kind of vocals from Will Ramos. But I had watched a video with him. I think I've talked about it. I think maybe y'all have seen it from the YouTube channel, The Charismatic Voice.
I've seen that one.
All of I think they're actually a series of videos, like 2 or 3, where they like put cameras down his throat and like measured like scientifically, like how the fuck he makes those noises with his mouth. And when I first saw it, like I was not at all familiar with him. I wasn't familiar with Lorna Shore and was not super familiar with that genre, at least not in terms of like the fascination behind it. But I watched the video, it was fine. It was like, oh, this is interesting. And then it came back to like my YouTube activity feed like I said, just a little over a year ago. And I don't know, it was one of those like rabbit hole kind of situations. Like I found myself watching the whole thing, finding the 2 or 3 other videos, watching them, and then just finding examples of other singers, other vocalists with other bands, and seeing if I could replicate it. Like some of it was instructional, some of it was educational, some of it was just listening to the music. But yeah, I was in deep, super, super deep for a good long while.
Okay.
See, I am a little thrown because my initial reaction would have been, how much Scandinavian influence was there into your discovery of this particular talent?
Not really any at all, to be perfectly honest. Like I'm kind of stuck with more, I guess, more domestic singers, and didn't really get into like the Scandinavian or even like, the German side of the house. But I know they're out there for sure.
This one's tough for me, but I really, 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 really want it to be true.
I more so want him to have a file stashed away somewhere on his computer of him doing the exercises to listen back to try and get better at this.
No comment. That one.
that is not and to make fun. It's an indication that you actually were into it enough to actually record and go back and use it to critique your technique and to try to get better, but also so that we could hear it. Right. I feel like it might be cheating to go, well, okay, well then just prove it right now. Because I also don't think you warmed up.
Also, not prove it right now, but once we've made our decisions and we decide whether it's true or not, if it is true, he should do it.
I mean, part of the thing with like the recording is that like it's I know it sounds weird because I've talked to you guys every week for the last like 6 years, but like there was a hint of embarrassment there. Like this was a thing I've never done before. I'm sure like a year ago it didn't sound great. I'm sure it doesn't sound great now. Let's be real. Like I've studied this for a little over a year. Someone like Will Ramos has been doing it for probably decades. Like it's not a comparison. It's a fun parlor trick at most is kind of the level that I was looking at it for.
Sure. I'm going to go true.
I think I'm with you because I think it's also one, like you mentioned, it's one of those things you kind of get down a rabbit hole, and I could completely see you getting there and going, yep, I'm gonna learn this. I'm gonna teach myself to do this.
Okay, so we got true from Jay and a true from Dan. Let's give this a whirl then, shall we? From Pain Remains 1, Dancing Like Flames, the Lorna Shore song. Track 8 on the Pain Remains album, I will give you all the intro to this. Captivate me, become my escape. I can't look away, you are my everything. If you couldn't tell, the answer was no, I did not learn how to scream. But it was almost a compliment that I feel like it was the delay, like, he's really bad, I don't want to tell him. No, I did. It is a vocal style that has always fascinated me. But no, I don't think that I would be built like that. I know that I would just shred my vocal cords within a month and would never go back to it if I ever tried it.
No, I was waiting to see if you were screwing with us and then just going to kick into the next gear.
Oh, it would have, like, the biggest regret I had as I put this lie together is that it wasn't true. Because as I thought about, that was the exact scenario I thought of. Is like, they're going to want me to actually prove this by singing. And how awesome would it be if I could come out with this shit? But alas, 'twas a lie. 'Twas a lie.
Bummer. That's all right. It was a good effort.
Valiant it was good, effort. And we were officially both fooled.
Indeed. No points for either of you for round 2.
And may God have mercy on our souls.
And may God have mercy on your souls. Jay, I believe that brings us to you for your statement.
It do indeed. And I have a little bit of a mixture here. I could tell a full story or I could just give it a bullet point. Ooh, so I think I'm going to go with the bullet point and then wait for your questions.
Okay.
So I once tried to headbang in 13/8 time signature and nearly dislocated my entire sense of rhythm and maybe also my neck.
My first question is which time?
Only once, my friend, only once.
Like it would be super cheating to Google like songs with 13/8 time signature. So I'm not going to do that. And I don't know that it would truly help anyway.
Was this being done in any form to prepare for a performance or to witness a performance, or was this more of a I want to see if I can headbang to this song kind of thing?
So it was at a live show, so it wasn't like prepping for things. So it was at not one of my performances. I was listening to another band. I can't perform in 13/8. That's ridiculous. That's inhuman. Right. I was at band very reasonable name for what they were doing. They are called Dysrhythmia. I may have brought them up at one point long time ago, but I'd never heard them before, and they were phenomenal. And they had approached this just crushingly cool part of a song, and I was in it, and maybe a mini pitcher or two deep.
Thank you for answering my second question.
Attaboy.
But the fun part was like, you're in the groove, right? Like I'm sandwiched between that front pillar and the subwoofers, less for the artistry and more for feeling that in my sternum. And they're it's a 3-piece band with a 6-string bass, and they were just in it and firing on all cylinders, and I was feeling it, and I started to go. And then as I'm headbanging, I'm trying to count because they've had some noticeable shifts throughout, and I'm trying to count along to it. And I'm pretty sure I landed on 13/8. I may not have. That's a crazy time signature. But here's the thing. So after a little while, like I'm trying to do it, and every time I try to land my head on this, and the guy that's watching from behind me to the right kept looking at me like I wasn't okay, because I couldn't land on, like, every time I thought like, okay, this is on the one. No, that's not the one. And then I would jerk my head to the side and try to come back on it on rhythm. And like I feel like that I hit the right time signature, because right at the end of it, like I felt like I nailed it, only for them to abruptly switch to like a 15/16 time signature or something crazy like that as well. That I wasn't about to try to. They were in 4/20 time signature as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't really matter.
Let me see if my very basic music theory would explain that correctly, to try to wrap the brain around it. That means that there in fact are 13 notes to a measure, and the 8th note gets one beat.
Yep. You got it.
Woof.
I could understand why, even if you were on rhythm at 13/8, someone would wonder if you were okay.
And to be fair, if you were able to keep that rhythm and headbang along to it, I would almost think that more was wrong with you than if you were out of rhythm, because that's not natural. Yeah.
It was kind of a pride thing once I started, though, because I started headbanging, like, no, I'm going to get it. So like I was in it in the moment. Like, and at one point, like, I mean, I'm already like, I'm half crocked and sweating like mad. If you've never been to Howard's Club H, you walk into that building, and at the time it was still legal to smoke in there. So like, you just walk into that building and you instantly feel like you've been there all night, with just the sweat and the smell and the booze. And like, I must have looked just obliterated, because I made eye contact with the guitarist at one point toward the end of that, and he gave me this like tiny nod, like after all this was done, like they finished this, like he gave me this like nod, and that nod, like I read that nod to mean like, you fought the time signature and you lost. like valiant effort, like you fought but you lost.
Is it bad that you answered my question before I could ask it? It definitely does sort of sway my decision a little bit as to what exactly was the venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is a good detail, but that's also considering both of your histories with this particular venue. I feel like that is that is something that could be fabricated. So I'm not entirely sold yet. The one thing that might push me one way or the other is just, you mentioned the clinical aspect of this. Like, what was the damage afterwards? Like, was there any noticeable after effects? Did you kind of walk out and you were just, good to go? Or, were you on the shelf for a couple days?
I mean, bruised ego, sore ears, but that was usually how I walked out of Howard's.
Yeah.
The neck that clicked like a hard drive, that may have been like a bad hard drive. That should clarify. That may have been specific to me trying to headbang to dysrhythmia. Because it stiffens you up, right? Like, it's not a normal, typical headbang when you're trying to headbang on rhythm. That isn't rhythm.
Yeah.
Like, you find yourself praying for a 4 count.
Well, yeah, I think that anyone's neck would be in a pretty tough way after one of those where, like, you can turn it like this much in either direction afterwards before you get significant resistance.
Yes.
Yeah, I've been there, not for headbanging, unfortunately. I wish it was.
You just wake up on the wrong side of the pillow.
Exactly. Yeah. Nothing.
That's
nothing
it now.
Yeah, right. I'd like to say that I'm macho and also say that I've had that feeling after some of your shows, but also the fact that in you describing this, my shoulder started hurting and I don't know why.
Podcasters of a certain age, boys.
Oh my God. That's a different show.
Which one of us gets played by Tim Allen in the movie?
Oh, Jesus.
None of us.
Good. Good.
Well, I think I am ready to make my declaration. And I am going to say that this story is 100% false. I feel like it is a believable story, but it almost feels like it crosses into the realm of being too believable. That this was something that would happen to you. I feel like maybe it's one of those where, like, the headbanging part was true, but the possible, like, neck injury wasn't. But either way, I'm gonna say it was false. I feel false for sure.
And I gotta go the opposite, knowing that atmosphere, and also knowing the thought process of trying to do something like, yeah, no, I get this. I can totally get this. I get this. I can get this. And also, mini pictures make a man do things. So I'm gonna go with the truth.
All right. So you got one going for the truth and one saying it's a lie. Sorry, Dan. It's a lie.
God damn.
Let's go.
I did, like, Dysrhythmia was a band that I saw at Howard's. I don't even know what 13/8 time signature would feel like. I have no idea what that.
Well, now I'm going to look it up.
Right.
I do. So it came about because, like, that idea came about because as I was thinking about some odd time signature and stuff that bands that I had seen at Howard's, like Dysrhythmia and Grandolena popped up first in my mind. And I do remember saying to somebody out loud, I think this song's in 15, which doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, that one is one that would be super intriguing to just find a song as I'm doing in the background.
Yeah.
According to Google, one of the songs from the video game soundtrack for Super Mario RPG, of all places, is in 13/8.
Interesting.
I am even more intrigued now than I was a couple of seconds ago.
There was also, I think, an article from the Hard Times that posited a stoner metal band attempting to play in 4/20 time signature.
Of course.
That would be dank.
It would be indeed.
We'll search I'll see if I can search this out, but there is, in fact, allegedly a section of Pearl Jam's Push Me, Pull Me that is in 13/8.
Oh,
interesting. Coming to a Fairly KickAss podcast near you, top 5 songs and fucking weird ass time signatures.
We're just top 5 weird ass time signatures. Yeah, I'm in.
Oh my gosh, we are so in.
He picked up a pen. You know what that means? That just made the list.
Thanks, Chris.
I'm here all week. Well, I mean, if it helps, we'll go ahead and just wrap this up with a scoreboard, which is absolutely useless here in this case.
Yeah.
Because I did fuck all. Jay, you got one of mine.
Mm-hmm.
And Zach was a perfect 3 for 3 on his detection that he
Yeah.
got. So
What a round. It won't happen again, I promise. This is fun though. I when we kind of first conceptualized this, I didn't know how it would turn out, but I think this is going to end up being a mainstay for us.
I enjoy it.
I'm going to have to go start doing more things now so I have more stories to tell.
Honestly,
Right.
that was the wildest part about your story. And the reason I thought one of the reasons I thought it was fake is that I couldn't believe that had happened and I didn't already know about it.
Yes.
Oh,
yes. Same.
I'm a little surprised. I was really worried that I had at some point told that story way back in the day when it happened. Like, got into the bar and going, you guys won't believe what we did today.
Gosh. Perhaps
So
you did. It was just lost in the annals of time. I don't know.
Possibly.
Yeah,
either that or I
fresh.
have to take drinking back up. One of the two.
There you go.
I ain't mad at that. So I guess what we're saying here is that the ride along playlist for this episode needs to include Last Christmas,
Yeah.
Something by Dysrhythmia, and Lorna Shore, and that's it. Like 3 things.
3 songs.
3
I
songs.
love it.
Although I did willingly, and this might hurt you physically, Dan, I did willingly listen to Poppy just did a cover of Last Christmas and released it in October. So I willingly listened to a Christmas song at the end of October.
I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm curious enough to willingly listen to one at the end of November.
Like the tail end. You can kick it down the road a little.
It kind of gets there.
Yeah.
Like if there's already snow, that also kind of puts that on a sliding scale. So who knows?
That's a good point. Yeah, if it's like 60 outside, we can't be bumping the Silent Night. It just doesn't work.
True.
Yeah, maybe it's that weird that year that I bought my son a skateboard for Christmas and he was able to use it
that morning.
It was like 65 outside. And we're in Ohio.
Yeah, that shouldn't be the case.
Yeah.
Also, spoiler alert.
Was there more to that?
Yeah.
No.
You said that and then you froze.
You mentioned
and
it was warm in Ohio. Like, spoiler, it could be that again. I suppose I should have finished the sentence.
Well, no, but you froze right after saying that. Your screen froze.
I was on the edge of my seat. Like, what's coming now?
Could be that way again this year.
Yeah.
The way things are starting to line up.
Speaking of that ride along playlist, though, Zach, where can they hear that?
That is a fantastic question. They can get that and all of our ride-along playlists on fairlykickass.com. Go there and we'll have a post for every episode, and each episode will take you straight to our Spotify account, which is not the same as our podcast account. It's weird the way it works. So once you get there, just I think you can follow accounts, like follow that account, follow the podcast account as well, and then you'll get all the ride along playlists. I think it'll give you a notification if there's something new added to either one of them. So that would be one of the ways that you could stay on the cutting edge. One of the other ways is through social media, as we will post about all of our episodes on Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. Did I say TikTok? Are we on TikTok? Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, yeah, and TikTok. That's the other T. We will post all those places as we get new episodes out, and eventually, once we get off our asses and do it, we'll be posting other content too. So be on the lookout. Follow us there. It's at Fairly Kickass across the board. You can't miss us. You also can't miss us if you just search for Fairly Kickass wherever you get your podcasts. We mentioned Spotify, Apple Music's a great example, YouTube, audio only, but still very, very very audio. They're very listenable to some extent, I suppose.
They're very audio like that.
They are very. This is why I didn't go into marketing.
There's never been more audio in your audio.
Oh, all of that is. I wish it would get cut. It's not going to. I know how this game works. I've been here before. But search for us wherever you find your podcasts. If you don't find us, then let us know in all the aforementioned ways. Oh, also fairlykickass@gmail.com for emails. Let us know somehow, some way. We will get that podcast to you on the platform you want it. And yeah, let us know what you think about it, of this episode type, of any of the other umpteen episodes. We post roughly once a week on Fridays, so let us know what you think. Any other quick confessions before we head on out and wrap this one up?
Let me consult my notes. I may have something fun to say.
Okay.
Oh, also on the time signature thing at a prog rock concert, I counted the time signature out loud during the breakdown, and someone behind me whispered, "Stop casting spells."
And that means that I've been going to the wrong shows my whole life.
Except that one's true, so I didn't use it.